it's Desiree, and welcome back to the Stronger Than Autoimmune Podcast, from boardroom to break room edition. I was thinking about this the other day. Do you remember back in 2007 when Facebook events became a thing? Suddenly, you were getting invited to every birthday party, every fundraiser, let's all meet up event. And somehow it felt rude to not click attend, even if you had zero interest in going. Well, navigating office food culture, especially during the holidays, can feel exactly the same. The candy bowl that mysteriously appears on everybody's desk right after Halloween, the potluck sign up sheet making the rounds, your manager bringing in homemade cookies for the team, and everyone is watching who takes one. Yes. Today we're talking about how to navigate office treats and social food pressure when you have an autoimmune condition without feeling guilty, without long explanations, and without sacrificing the relationship that matters for you at work. Because here's the truth, protecting your health isn't rude, it's responsible. So let's dive in. So let's validate something really important. If you ever felt actually anxious standing in front of an office candy bowl, or felt your stomach drop when someone announces a surprise pizza party, you're not alone. It's not all in your head. Here's why food pressure at work hits differently when you have an autoimmune condition. First, inflammation is real. Research from the Journal of Autoimmunity shows that certain foods, like refined sugar, gluten, processed ingredients, can trigger inflammatory responses in people with autoimmune diseases. So, for us, that Halloween candy that you really like and you crave isn't just a little treat. It's potentially 48 hours of brain fog, joint pain, or fatigue. Second, invisible illness is lonely. We talked about this in our last podcast. When you decline food at work, people can't see why. They don't see the Hashimoto's, the rheumatoid arthritis, the lupus, or other autoimmune illnesses or invisible illnesses. So their brains fill the blanks. Oh, she's on a diet. Oh, she thinks she's too good for my cookies. Ugh, she's being difficult. And that leads to my third reason. Workplace culture is built on food. Birthday cakes, holiday potlucks, lunch and learns with pizza. Food is how we celebrate as humans. It's how we bond. It shows how we care. And if you opt out, even for legitimate health reasons, it can feel like you're opting out of belonging. So, if this feels hard, it's because it is hard. You're not being dramatic. You're navigating a real tension between your health and social expectations. Remember the iPod shuffle? Yes, that tiny device with no screen. You just had to trust it would play something you liked. That's what office food culture feels like sometimes. You never know what's coming, you can't see the ingredients, and you're just supposed to go with it. But unlike an iPod shuffle, you get to be in control here. All right, let's get tactical. Here are 3 scripts you can use to decline food at work without over-explaining, without lying, and without making it weird. Script number 1, the redirect. Someone offers you candy or treats, and you say, "Thank you so much. Actually, I just ate, but that's really thoughtful of you. Then immediately ask them a question. How was your weekend? Did you see that email about that project deadline? So, why this works, you acknowledge the offer. You didn't insult the food, and you moved the conversation forward. Most people won't push back because you redirected their attention. All right, script number 2, the boundary without details. If someone's more persistent, try, I appreciate the offer, but I'm sticking to foods that work best for my body right now. That's it. No, I have autoimmune disease. No, I'm on a special diet. Just a simple boundary. If they push further, and honestly, most won't, you can add, I've learned what keeps me feeling best, and I'm committed to that. All right. Script number 3, the potluck pivot. For office potlucks or holiday parties where participation feels unexpected, bring something you can eat and make enough to share. When people ask why you're only eating your dish, you can say, I brought this quinoa salad because I've been loving it lately. Have you tried it? You're participating, you're contributing, and you're taking care of yourself. It's a win, win, win. Pro tip, keep a small stash of autoimmune friendly snacks at your desk: nuts, fruit, a protein bar, so you're never caught off guard when a surprise food shows up. Now let's talk strategy for the bigger events: holiday parties, team dinners, client lunches. These require a little more planning, but I promise it is worth it. Strategy number 1, eat before you go. I know, it sounds counterintuitive, but think of it like this. Remember when Netflix first started streaming and you had to preload a show before a road trip so you won't lose your spot? That's what eating beforehand does. You show up satisfied, so the office buffet isn't calling your. If the event is at a restaurant, check the menu online ahead of time and identify 1 or 2 safe options. Call ahead if you need to ask about the ingredients. Most restaurants are actually happy to accommodate, they just need a heads up. So, strategy number 2, BYOF. Bring your own food. If it's a potluck or a casual gathering, bringing a dish you can eat is probably your best move. Think a big salad with grilled chicken, roasted vegetables with olive oil and herbs, a fruit platter, autoimmune friendly dessert. Yes, they do exist. No one will question why you brought food to a potluck. And bonus, you might inspire someone else who's been struggling with the same thing. Strategy number 3, the buffer zone technique. At cocktail parties or networking events where food is everywhere, create a buffer zone. Stand away from the food table. Hold a drink. Sparkling water with lime works great, so your hands are occupied. This makes it physically harder for someone to hand you a plate or push food on you. And if someone does, back to script 1. I just ate. Thank you. Okay. According to American Autoimmune Related Diseases Association, over 50 million Americans have an autoimmune disease. That means statistically, you're probably not the only person at your office navigating food restrictions. You might just be the only one talking about it, though. And when you set these boundaries with grace, you're actually making it easier for the next person. This episode isn't just about Halloween candy or holiday cookies. It's something bigger. You have the right to take care of yourself at work. When you practice saying no to food that does not serve you, you are practicing saying no to projects that will burn you out, meetings that could have been an email, expectations that aren't realistic for your energy levels. So, setting boundaries around food is a boundary setting practice. And as women, especially women with autoimmune conditions, we need that practice because the same colleagues who push you to have just one cookie are often the same ones that want you just push through when you're having a flare. And the same workplace culture that makes food refusal feel awkward is often the same culture that makes health accommodations feel uncomfortable. So when you confidently decline that candy bowl or you're not being difficult, you're being clear about your needs. And clarity is a superpower in the workforce. Think of it like this. The way we used to burn CDs back in the day, you carefully curate which songs made the cut, skipping the tracks that didn't hit the vibe. That's what you're doing here. You're curating your food choices, your energy, your health. Not every track or treat or food needs to be on your playlist. So here are the action steps for this week. Choose your holiday food strategy now. Don't wait until you're standing in the break room with a slice of cake in front of you and your manager watching. Decide now. Will you bring your own food to potlucks? Which script will you use when someone offers you a treat? What will you keep at your desk as a backup snack? Write it down, put it in your phone, rehearse it in the car or in front of your mirror. Because you need a plan. When you don't, you make decisions in the moment, and that's when we usually cave to pressure. If there's someone at work you trust, a work friend, a supportive manager, let them in on your plan. Say something like, hey, just a heads up, I'm avoiding certain foods for health reasons. So if you see me skipping the treats, that's why. I appreciate you not making a big thing out of it. Having one ally makes things a lot easier. Your challenge this week, practice one polite food decline. It doesn't have to just be at work. It could be with a friend. It could be at dinner. It could be at a grocery store, sample station. Just practice saying no with confidence and without over explaining. Notice how it feels. Notice how people react. Spoiler alert, they probably won't care much as you think. And notice how you feel afterwards, because I am willing to bet you will feel empowered. Coming up in November, we're switching gears to talk about gratitude. Not just a fluffy, being thankful or kind. We're talking about gratitude practice that actually impact your health, backed by science, because your mindset affects your immune system. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Until then, remember, protecting your health isn't rude. It's responsible. Take care of yourself out there. You're stronger than autoimmune. And I'm Desiree, and I'll see you next Monday.